for years and years and recording at home. Yeah.
You didn't DJ anywhere else? No.
Not before. Well, no, DJ. Well, I was called the Funky Scruff before that, and then just changed to Mr. Scruff. But before Scruff, it was just me in my bedroom, sort of.
So what was the tape like you gave to Peter before first releasing any material that excited you so much?
Have you heard the first single?
I haven't heard anything apart from this and a couple of more compilation tracks.
Right.
I haven't heard your EPs and stuff. I was meant to meet Peter on Saturday.
Right.
But he set me up, so I'll get him for it. Yeah. Go.
Okay. What was it like? Very grungy. You know, very simple and you know, quite. Not sure. Not very tuneful, but.
Right. So it's not like the recent stuff.
Well, I've got a lot. I've gone quite smooth recently, but I'm getting back to the rough stuff again as well. So you know, I mean, I like noisy music, and I like Frank Sinatra. So it's kind of
cool. Yeah.
You know, it's a bit of both, but it's quite cheeky and quite. It's because I was just using an old computer as well, so it was quite crusty and. But I like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it adds extra flavor to your sound.
Yeah.
What kind of party music do you like? Is it metal, punk, grindcore? What?
What do you mean, like guitar stuff? I suppose. Not lots of it. I mean, I do like some punk and the Clash and people like. I used to be into things like Hole and the first Therapy album and things like that. Just I like quite extreme things. I used to listen to John Peel and you know I was into Mudhoney a bit, but it's just you know I didn't buy a lot of it. I'd buy the odd one, but you know I was mainly into hip hop and house and soul and jazz and things. But you know I can appreciate. I like things like the Pixies as well, and just anything that's a bit quite interesting rather than doing the Beatles over again. If you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But.
So you've been listening to music for how long?
Properly, since I was about 9, something like that. You know, buying records and taping the radio all the time and things.
Your vinyl junkies mentioned me your CV. How many records do you have?
I don't know. I've got 2 rooms full, but I don't know how many that is.
Yeah, right. So a lot of people identify you, you know, with one of the masters of what's called future funk. Yeah.
Well,
how would you define future funk? Okay, great. Right. So we're talking about your musical preferences and hard and soft metal, punk, jazz. So favorite artists of all times, the ones that most frequent your DJ sets.
Well, a lot of my favourite artists, I don't really play that much. I mean, I wouldn't play Frank Sinatra that much in a club, or because a lot of my favourite tracks are really slow, kind of soul things, you know, or jazz ballads or blues. So, kind of I play them on the radio, but not really in clubs.
You broadcast as well. Where?
I did the radio space in here. I do mixes for different radio stations, and well, I've not really got a regular show at the moment, but I do really enjoy radio.
Right. So you're also playing with your drum team, don't you?
Yeah.
For how long have you been playing with them?
Well, Eardrum's been going for about a year now, just over a year. I've been doing that for a year, and I did Head Funk before that, which was the same people.
Right. Do you also play foreign countries as well? In the UK, do you tour?
I was in Paris on Friday.
With the Eardrum team? Or?
Not Eardrum, no.
Right.
I'm going to Dublin with Eardrum in a few weeks. Going to America in September and around Europe in November.
You haven't released anything, have you? You haven't released anything with the Eardrum?
With Eardrum, no.
How come?
Well, they're not really. I mean, they have got a record label, but I'm quite busy enough as it is, really. So
They got a record label?
they have. They've put out one record, but yeah, it's just kind of. Well, Eardrum's a club, you know. It's kind of. There's live musicians and things, but you know, I've got enough on my plate, really. So at the moment, anyway.
So you experienced the whole movement of the whole development of the Manchester scene. You know, you've been a part of it, haven't you?
Yeah, I suppose being part of
the
it for the
Grand
last...
Central and Rainy City and Paper and Pleasure, whatever experimentation goes on among these labels.
Yeah.
So, what's your forecast for the years to come? Because, experimentation, which direction it's going to?
I'm not sure about particular musical directions, because I think Manchester's very strong on sort of, for house and hip hop and soul and things, so it's kind of specific directions I'm not that interested in, because I like all that music. I just think good music, because the last 4 years it's happened quite gradually. Everyone's been finding their feet in Grand Central, it's been going for a few years, same with Rainy City, and all these people have been around for ages. I've known, even if I've not known the people like Earthen from Rainy City, I've sort of, seen him about for the last 10 years. He's just like me, he's into all sorts of music. And, Mark Ray, he's been around for ages as well, same again. He likes all kinds of music, and obviously people like Luke and Justin, the Unabombers, and, all the Hot Monkey people, and people like Matt Thompson, and then there's Scam and Jason Bourman and Elliot Eastwick, and, like I say, all the Paper people. And, there's so many people. I don't like reading out lists because I'll always forget people, but there's such a variety of people, and they all get on really well together, and so I just think it's going to get stronger, and people are going to be putting out more good music. But I think it's quite nice it's happened slowly as well, so it's not like, right, everyone's suddenly a star. It's people just getting on with their own thing and having fun, which is what it's about.
When you write a song, right, what do you think? I wanted to explain to me the whole process of how you're actually making this music, because you're blending quite different sounds. You start with, let's say, sometimes with soul mood, then you move into hip hop, funk, jazz. The first song here it could be termed as freestyle jazz, isn't it?
Yes, that's kind of, it's a bit drum and bassy, it's a bit cocktaily, it's kind of...
Yeah, it has the beat and it's freestyle,
Yeah, but it's very mellow as well.
Yes.
Obviously most of my stuff is samples, so I'll start with a sample, and then I might have some really mellow music and put a really thrashy beat over the top, and that kind of gives a bit of a split personality, and I can, from that chemistry between the two sounds, that gives me something to work with. It suggests a mood for the track. So it's just putting bits of a puzzle together, and it's like making a meal. You want you kind of, you want a balanced meal and different things in it, and you want your vegetables, and you want a big lump of potato, and then you might want some gravy and a nice drink to go with it. So it's it's just the different elements working together. It's like in a band, you'd have you have the bass doing the backdrop, and then the guitar, and then vocals over the top, and I just work in the same way, but it's just by myself, but with samples. So I do have a certain way of working, but it's not like, right, I do this and then I do that. It's just, I do have my own way. I'll play a sample over and over again and play other records over the top. But I think that's how a lot of DJs work in the studio.
Let's go back to the future funk definition. I want you to try to give me a definition of future funk, because I've written a whole editorial about future funk.
Right.
And it's something like 600 words. Try to define it. And I called it future funk at the end of mystery in music, because it's completely postmodern. It does away with any ideas, any traditional ideas that are embedded in rock music, like hope and freedom and whatever. It's just what you said, a pastiche of different sounds blended together without any origin or without any direction.
Well, obviously there is a sound, because you could say, personally I don't like definitions, because once something gets defined, then it becomes a genre, rather than, I just
You can always redefine it.
you have to kind of
define it for the audience. So.
Yeah, you have to describe music, but I just, because
you did art anyway.
Yeah.
So you're used to giving some minimal definitions about artistic genius and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you have to, because obviously words, every single word describes something, but I find it, things like words like trip hop and speed garage and future funk and things like that, it's kind of, once something's got a name, it almost has a set of rules, you know what I mean? But whereas I just like messing around in the studio, and on my Ninja Tune album there's kind of a lot of hip hop stuff, there's some house stuff, It's all kind of not quite, you know, it's all a bit, it's like house, but it's not quite house, and so there's definite influences, but I'm not interested at all in names because, you know, I think they're quite restricting.
Yeah.
Once people sort of hear, oh, what's this speed garage, and you know, what's it all about, and it's they're useful up to a point, but I think once words come into popular use and people hear about the name first, and you know, try and think, oh, that's that, and you know, I prefer not to call it anything.
Right.
So I don't really consider myself to be future funk or trip hop or whatever. It's just, I mean, obviously it's quite hip hop influenced music, and there's lots of modern dance influences and things in there, but you know, I just feel more a part of the Manchester music scene in general, you know, like Paper and everyone who are doing house and hip hop and everything, rather than a particular group of people who are doing one sort of music. You know, I'm not interested in that at all.
Right. So, tell me about, what's the title of the forthcoming Ninja Tunnel thing?
I don't know.
You haven't made up your mind yet?
No, it's not finished yet, so.
Right.
You know, it was supposed to be finished for now, but no way. No, I'm, you know, making sure I do a really good album, so it'll come out when it's finished.
So no definite plans about it? Right.
No.
What are you doing at the moment? Do you mostly tour and playing that club?
Yeah, I mean, I'm DJing every week and recording as well, so that's all I'm doing really.
Well, what do you play in France?
Paris,
Where?
a place called Élysée Montmartre, which is a live venue for a night called Trip de Brazil, which is an album launch party for a kind of electronic Brazilian album that I've got a track on.
Right. What do you play? Do you play your normal set? Do you play your normal set?
No, I play quite a lot of Brazilian records, and
Do you play Rainy City's Neutral Beach as well? Yeah?
yeah, play that.
Cool. What do you think of that?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the A side.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good. I played with quite a lot of that kind of Brazilian house stuff that went down really well, but obviously Batucada and, you know, some more just original Brazilian music.
So you play everything, like MR.SCRUFF is not, you know, about funk or about soul, it's not just the eardrum thing. You know, you can play house, you can play...
Yeah, that's, you know, I do reggae nights, I do house nights. I mean, I don't always play, if I'm playing for 5 hours, I'll play reggae, house, drum and bass, hip hop, soul, funk, daft children's records, disco, you know, whatever, but if I'm playing for 2 hours, you know, you have to restrict yourself, otherwise you go all over the place.
Right. And what's scheduled for the next 3 months, let's say? Are you touring?
Yeah, well, touring America, touring Europe, trying to finish my album.
America? Where?
Don't know yet.
Oh, nothing has been arranged yet?
It's been arranged, it's a 5-week tour and I'm doing half of it, so it's kind of east to west, but
right.
I don't know.
The other half?
Well, it's a Ninja Tune tour, so everyone,
right.
you know, there'll be quite a few people,
right.
and Europe's
yeah,
Ninja Tune.
Well, they're doing on a yearly basis, don't they? Like it was Neotropic
yeah.
last time. Yeah.
And DJ Food.